June 20th, I will be having a live show right here in New York City with Heather Gay and Matt Rogers. And I'm going to get Heather Gay drunk because she tried getting me drunk and now it's her turn. So go to LeahMcSweeneyLive.com and buy your tickets. I will also be having a show July 12th in Los Angeles with Annie Lederman and a newly confirmed guest, Trixie Mattel, which is super exciting.
Yeah, baby.
She was literally one of my most favorite guests that we've had on here, and I think our conversation was so good, and I cannot wait to continue it live in Los Angeles, July 12th. Be there. It's the Leah McSweeney Show.
So what's our format here? Are you gonna like ask?
The format is whatever the fuck we want.
It's just us. Okay, wait. Okay, let me put my phone
Formatting
on
is
do not.
the birds.
Put your phone on do not disturb.
Because it's been like blowing up in my pocket.
I know. Well, you're a popular woman. We're going to talk about that. You're like a mover and shaker in these streets, honey. You're the queen of Dime Square and the queen of like the literary world in a lot of ways.
In some ways.
In some ways.
Give her an intro.
I'm going to give her an intro.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. I kind of want to spit my gum out.
Here, put it in this little...
Throw it on the wall.
Welcome to the Leah McSweeney Show. Today, we have the iconic Gootz Guterman. That's
me.
you. Wait, did I say your last name, right?
Yeah, you nailed it.
I'm so happy you're here.
Oh my God, I'm so happy to be here.
I know last time you were projectile vomiting.
I was projectile vomiting. My stomach was making all these noises, and I was like, the mic is gonna pick them up.
I know. Yeah, I'm glad that we rescheduled because I need you like to be present and like fully here. How's Dwayne Reed? I mean, no, that's not her real name. Wait, what's her name? Your friend Claire. I'm sorry. I always just look at Instagram.
I know, Dwayne.
Did she get a tooth?
She has a tooth.
She has a tooth. Okay,
Yeah.
but she was really rocking that missing tooth so well because she's a gorgeous girl.
I know. Yeah,
but then she was able to make it look very attractive.
I know.
Somehow.
I was like, there is a girl out there, or at least one, maybe more, that is like gonna want their tooth out because they see you sans tooth. She has a temp tooth right now.
Okay, great.
But we'll have the perma tooth.
The perma tooth. Okay.
Soon. Yeah. It's been
I
quite
feel like
the
she
saga.
should have gone out for some like campaigns.
I know. Well, I think like she was trying.
I should have shot her in some mob stuff.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I think everyone sort of was like, oh, we should do it. But like didn't realize that like she was actually going to get another tooth back.
Right.
Like,
She's like, it wasn't a forever thing.
Yeah. And I think like at a certain point, she was like, I just like, like we're like hustlers. We're like always in meetings. And then like, Claire would be like in a meeting and she's like, I'm like giving a presentation. I don't have a tooth. like how are they gonna take me seriously?
Right. And what would happen at these meetings? First, for everyone listening, Claire was Gootz's partner in Drunken Canal, which we're gonna get into, and is still your partner and your co-creator, co-hustler. Like, what are you guys doing together?
Well, I've started a new editorial platform with my friend Megan.
Oh, okay.
Actually. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Megan's a bit older. She's like 30. I'm 26.
She's a bit older.
Well, I just mean
30.
I just mean than me. Like she's like
No, I know.
You know, she's like I'm like
You're Gen Z.
Yeah, I'm like on the border of like kid and adult still.
You're actually insane that you're 26 years old.
Yeah.
What the fuck? You literally, you created a newspaper in the pandemic.
Yeah.
That took over, and the New York Times wrote about it. Vanity Fair wrote about it.
Yeah.
People were obsessed with it. People were obsessed with you guys.
Yeah.
I was featured in it.
Yeah.
Yes. I loved it. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I was like 22 when that started, 23. So like I had no idea what I was doing.
But clearly you do.
Yeah. But
Walk us through like how you created the newspaper.
So the Drunken Canal was a project with my friend Claire, and we, it was just like deep pandemic, and we were like bored, and you couldn't like touch things, and it was also like everyone was so on their phones because it was the only thing to do. And then so one day we were just like sitting in the park having like phone exhaustion, and we were just like, what if we started a newspaper about our lives? And like I
love how that's the narrative. Like we're in the park.
It's incredible.
It's amazing.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it was so simple and like pure-hearted.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like I had a gallery job at the time that was keeping me on staff and paying me throughout the pandemic.
Incredible.
Which was like, God bless Jane Lombard Gallery for that.
I was going to say shout out to that gallery.
Yeah,
wow.
they were so incredible. And I mean, it's not that I wasn't working, but my workload had obviously significantly changed
Right.
because being in the gallery was half the job. But
Right.
anyway, so I had this really amazing job that so I was like, well, I can pay for this newspaper out of pocket. Like, what else am I spending money on?
Yeah.
Like, it's
Don't
not like
eat
I'm going out to
clothes, don't eat-
dinner.
right, exactly.
It's not like I'm going out to drinks.
Right.
Like, okay, like how much does it cost to print a newspaper? It turns out not that much. And so we just started doing it. And I was just like bankrolling this project because I was like, well, what else am I doing? You know?
Oh my God, you're brilliant. Okay,
Yeah.
the newspaper became kind of like had a cult following.
Yes, it kind of became like a cult sensation for sure.
How did that happen? It obviously is
don't know.
organic,
Yeah.
so that's why it's hard to kind of pin how it happened, right?
I think people were bored, and like tired of the world at large, so they wanted to like focus in on a bubble,
the Dime Square bubble.
the Dime Square bubble, and at the same time, like all these things were. I think it really took off because people either really liked it or really hated it, and there was like very
Right.
few like neutral stances, which was kind of rare.
It was controversial.
It was controversial.
which is bizarre also.
Which is bizarre,
but,
yeah.
But it was also during a time where there was so much hate going on,
Yes,
right? Like it was
exactly.
like, you're not wearing a mask, or you're fucking forcing vaccines on us, or
Yeah.
like you're like, you shouldn't be, whatever. There were so many rules, and it's like snitching on neighbors for having parties and
Yeah.
like judging people for doing whatever.
Yeah.
And you guys were partying.
We were just kind of
You're
like
fucking in your early 20s. What
Yeah.
else would you be doing? It's a
Exactly,
pandemic.
exactly.
If the pandemic happened when I was in my early 20s, bro,
I'd be destroyed.
I would have been
I'd be partying
doing,
every day.
I would have
Yeah.
been fucking. That's like when you fucking go even crazier and
Yeah.
do even more drugs than normal.
Yeah. That is
And pretty
possible
much-
that's what we were doing.
Not saying that you guys were, but
Yeah, you know, we weren't like, also it's crazy because we weren't being like reckless. Like we
Right.
had like our core group, given it was like 20 people that would like hang out all the time.
yeah, okay, 20. That's not a lot.
That's
right?
like, and we wouldn't like go
In the
see-
pandemic world, that was like
In the pandemic,
that
world,
was
that's like-
apocalyptic.
You're a
right?
grandma killer.
Yeah, it was like I'm not surrounded. No one here sees any like you know like sees
No
old
judgment
people.
on us. I mean, from me. Like,
Yeah,
I had people in my house all the time. I had people in my house all the time.
I
Still
didn't. I wish
guilty of that.
I didn't have enough people to hang out with, or I would have.
Yeah.
I wish I knew I wish I knew you guys back then. I would have, just been like drinking my Red Bull, watching you guys party. You know.
Yeah, so I think we were just like unapologetic,
Right.
you know. And
People don't like that either.
People
They
don't
like when
like
you
that
grovel.
either.
They
Yeah.
like when you grovel and you say, "I'm such a bad person. I'm so sorry."
Yeah, and it was like, listen, I'm not saying like I'm a role model or that I'm a great person, but like I'm not a bad person either. And
So what were the like what was the controversy? Like what was the controversy of the newspaper? I mean, what's his name? Ben Smith
Ben Smith
wrote about it in the New York Times.
Yeah.
Like how did that come about?
that came about. I heard through the grapevine that was going to happen. Like I got word that that the Times was going to cover it, and I was like, Claire, I think like the Times is going to cover it, and like,
How did you even like deal emotionally with this too? Like,
we were not okay.
yeah, I can't imagine like at all. Like you were in the park bored with your friend going, let's start a newspaper. You start this newspaper that talks about you and your 20 friends pretty much, right? Or your views on certain things that were going on too, right?
Yeah.
And then the New York Times is writing about you and probably not in a great way.
Yeah, it didn't really make a whole lot of sense at the time. I think looking back, like, okay, maybe I get it. But
well, this is also coming from a newspaper that said it was racist to to maybe think that that it was possibly a lab leak.
No,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're not exactly like.
those aren't
it's not.
That's not the same thing.
This is not the paper of record. I mean, the New York Times does some great stuff. Obviously, it's the New York Times, but they have some issues over there.
Yeah, as does everyone.
Right.
But yeah, so that happened.
And what happened? Like, what was the New York Times article like? And did you went on record, right?
We went on record because I was like really scared. So I asked some people, like, the Times is going to write about it. Should we talk to them? And they're like, and then, oh God, I've had fucking COVID when the Times was covering it. So I couldn't actually meet the journalist.
Right, you're like, yeah, I'm partying. I got COVID. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. That's okay. I was just asking like what the general consensus was of the article, even though I read it, but I don't remember completely.
It was kind of just like
Was it fair?
It was mid.
It was fair.
It certainly didn't praise us. Like, it wasn't like 1,000% positive. But I think it could have been more negative considering the circumstance. Like, I don't know. It was just honestly like that. I kind of have like brain lapses of everything that happened because like it was so much fun, but it was also so stressful.
You had a crazy pandemic.
I had a crazy pandemic. You can read about it in print. That's what the New York Times headline was. It was they had a fun pandemic. You can read about it in print.
That is the it's disgusting actually that instead of saying these two young people in their early 20s created a newspaper. This generation has been trained to not even think about anything in print. You completely grew up with social media and everything tech and everything digital. It's like, it's actually disgusting that they wouldn't coin you as amazing creatives. You know, that created something that people got to enjoy during the pandemic. Even if they hated it, they enjoyed hating it.
Exactly.
And why they hate it? Because like because you're all white or something? It was something.
I think people just like to hate on people at the top, and like everyone came up with a different.
There was many different things, right?
It was like, they only write about themselves. It's like, well, yeah, that's like all we know. Like, we're not journalists.
Well, you can't go interview people right now. It's the pandemic.
And it was like, you know, there was like, we did this one project where we like attached a bunch of fake surveillance cameras to the box, to the newspaper box. And then people were like, oh, you guys are like the police state. And we're like, what are you talking about? Like,
and it wasn't
we're
real.
We're collaborating with Balenciaga. Shut up.
Right. Wait, did you collaborate with Balenciaga?
Yeah,
pre-child scandal.
Yeah, pre-child scandal. But
what did you do with Balenciaga? No wonder why you were getting hated on. I didn't know this. I'm hating on you now.
No, we just did like they like sponsored an issue. That's huge. Yeah, I know. We cried.
That's like, you guys just launched a newspaper in a freaking park, and then fast forward what, a month, 2 months, 3 months? You're in Balenciaga.
Probably like a year in.
This is a culture creator.
Yeah, that's meteoric. I mean?
That's a
meteoric rise.
This is a big deal.
Huge.
This is a huge deal.
Huge.
Who else? Because show off. Because I didn't know that. Who else? Who else did you work with?
Balenciaga was definitely like. The most bonkers one.
I mean, yeah, that's crazy.
But we did, we collabed with Polaroid. We did.
I hope they paid you guys well.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I mean, no.
No, they didn't pay you as good as they should have.
Okay, so I think we just like severely undercharged a lot, everyone, the whole time, because we were like 22, 23. This was like a pet project. I don't think we totally understood the value of ourselves and of the project. Like, I think now I totally understand my value as a person and what I bring to the table, and like, you know, not to like toot my own horn or anything, but that I like have
a man would never say that.
That I have like a special way of understanding media and like creating stories, and not
Love it.
Like, but I didn't possess that knowledge then. I possess it now.
I learned.
Yeah,
of course.
And like now that I'm embarking like on a new endeavor, I'm like, you know, so much more sure in myself and my value and like the value that I bring to the table. But at the time, I think we didn't know that. So brands didn't totally, like, if we didn't know it, how would they know it so much? You know what I mean? Because we weren't like, we are the coolest girls in the room. We started the coolest newspaper. Yeah. We were like, this is so cool. And it was so cool.
It was so cool.
But
I remember like, Kat Marnell is the one who told me about it. Then she like brought me to hang out with you guys.
It's so funny. We, Claire and I were like obsessed with How to Murder Your Life. And
yeah, of course.
We used to like run ads in the Drunken Canal, like before we like reached Kat, where we would like run ads being like, Kat Marnell, if you see this, like please call us. And
that's brilliant.
We even used to run ads for Beauty Shambles, her Patreon.
Yeah.
Like before she knew who we were, we would just put fake ads in the paper, just like advertising Beauty Shambles because we like liked it so much.
So great.
And then it was like,
what about Red Scare? You guys are so Red Scare adjacent. Because they're talking about you guys on their podcast. But are you friends with them or?
I'm friends with Dasha.
Okay.
I don't know Anna.
I feel like everyone who listens, like they have their favorites.
Yeah.
It's like you're either a Dasha person or an Anna person.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Housewives. Like you have your favorite. Yeah. Dasha's great, but Anna's like,
yeah, you're an Anna girl.
I'm an Anna girl.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get her to come on the podcast. She's in Japan right now, but she said she's coming on. So.
Oh, is she? I guess she's in Japan with
Dasha.
Okay. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, no offense, ladies, but we definitely tried to like keep our distance
from Red Scare. Interesting. Why?
I think we were just like not equipped to deal with the level of scrutiny that they deal with, and knew that if we were to form a pipeline, that inevitably that would come to us. And
but
also,
you did have to deal with a lot of scrutiny, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you had
and
the New York
also
Times.
ultimately, like, I'm trying to figure out how to say this. I'm like a nice girl. I try not to form like rash opinions on people, you know, or I'm not really like a hot take queen.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
And so, like...
They're hot take queens.
They're hot take queens, totally. And it's great. And that's why people love them. And, like, that is so cool. But
they're genius at it,
yeah,
too.
They're genius at it. And they're also really, really smart and brilliant and can, like, articulate their takes. Whereas, like, if I were to say something like that, I would just, like, fumble over my words and, like, not really, like...
I also change my mind a lot.
I change my mind all the time. I
change my mind so much.
I also think, like... Now, especially, I'm like a very different gal than I was at 22, 23.
How so? Like in this way you're talking about how?
Yeah, like, well, I think I just learned so much. And first of all, I like I was saying, I like know my value as a person and as a creative.
Yep.
And also just figured out the things that make me happy, and the things that make me happy are like radical positivity and like cute fun vibes and like and that's just like what I kind of need to do to stay positive, because otherwise like I'll like start to spiral if I think about like the world at large and like all the shit that's going, like I'm kind of like an ignorance is bliss gal. And
well, and you're focusing on your creativity.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Like,
and that's a great outlet.
Yeah, like I try to focus on telling.
How do you do radical positivity? I'm not good at that. I'm so negative. I'm like radical negativity.
But radical something is still good.
Yeah, I'm like radical, like realist. Like it's like, you know,
I'm definitely not a realist. I think maybe I don't know.
No,
like,
you're probably not, because. And I wasn't either when I was your age. That's why I started Mob.
Yeah.
I started it sitting on a stoop. I was like, I'm just going to start and make some t-shirts. And then it turned into some big thing, you know? But I could never do that at this age. Because life
exactly.
Life
like,
fucks you up, you know?
It fucks you up. Like, you have a kid and, like, you know,
my kid fucked me up. No, I'm kidding. But, like, but, like, life wears you down. Like, the relationships don't work. Your heart gets broken. You fail at shit. And you become less of an idealist. I hate to say that, and I sound like jaded, but that's just like life.
No, I think that makes total sense.
You go to the mental hospital 2 times, you sober, then you relapse, and you got to get sober again, and you keep fucking the wrong guys, and you're still single, and I could go on and on about everything, but at 20, in my 20s were the funnest years of my life because I had no fear.
Yeah.
I just didn't.
Yeah. I think I used to have no fear, and now I have a little bit of fear.
Because you had success.
Because I had success, yeah. And now
you're scared of, because then you're like, I could lose it, right? Like, now I'm here.
And if I don't work super hard, it might go away, or like it, now that I've had a taste, it's like,
you want more.
I want more, but it's also it's scary at the top. And I'm not like at the top.
It's lonely at the top, as they say.
Yeah. I don't think it's that lonely.
You're like, actually.
I guess that's my hot take. I don't think it's that lonely. I think it's a lot of fun at the top, but it's scary.
You know what? I've been at the top and the bottom, and I will say the top is funner.
The top is way more fun.
It's way more fun.
It's lonely at the bottom.
Yeah, the bottom sucks.
The bottom sucks. The bottom sucks. So
stay on top.
Yeah, stay on top.
By any means necessary.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, so tell me about the new venture.
So it actually launches June 8th. When does this
tomorrow's
come out?
7 days.
Oh, yeah. When does this come out?
When will this come out? Because we can have this come out hold on, did you pause it?
No.
Or no? Oh, sorry. Wait,
I'll just cut. I don't want to cut.
Is June 8th a Thursday, or?
It has to come out after June 7th if I'm going to talk about it.
We can put this out June 8th.
No problem.
It's a Thursday. That's when we release.
Okay.
We can put this out on June 8th. If you want.
It's up to you.
That's like next Thursday, which is fine.
Great.
Yeah.
So
cool.
So talk about it.
Okay. So Byline is it's my new publication that I co-founded with my friend Megan, who I actually met because she was a writer for the Drunken Canal.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And it's online only for now, and I think probably for the long run.
Right. I mean, that's what, like,
it's hard to make money running a physical newspaper
or a magazine.
Or
anything.
Exactly. And but also just the reach is so much bigger, and it gives us like a lot more flexibility in a lot of ways. I mean, it's a totally different ballgame. Like, it's so different actually, like doing online versus doing print, and I didn't really realize how different it would be until I started. But it's called Byline. The purpose sort of started off as like, how do we highlight individual writers and give people a byline? Because the thing that I think was really special about the Drunken Canal and that I've carried over is that, like, people could write about whatever they wanted to write about without having to filter their voice down to match a publication.
Oh my God.
Like, if you write for the Times, you get like red marked. The red pen hits the page so much that, like, sometimes any ounce of the character that you put into it will get taken out. Obviously there's special cases, but for the most part, if you're gonna get like a byline in like a major publication, like, you can't really like write in your tone of voice about the thing you want to write about. Yeah,
and also the thing you want to write about. I mean, if you're like it's not like the Times. I mean, when they have like people who are like kind of like a little right or like center, those people are like get destroyed, and like they're not. How could you even be writing? It's just there's not a lot of unique voices out there too. Like, I want to read some shit. Like, I want to read some real shit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's sort of like what it started off as, and that's what it's turning out to be. So it's really fun.
So
it's
exciting.
definitely like Megan and I together are like very positive people, so it's very
radical positivity.
Yeah,
oh, cool. I need some of that.
Yeah, it's definitely giving like fun and
Good,
cute,
that's
but like
great.
I think we need more of that in the world. And also, I think there's a really big gap in media to read things like that. Like, there's kind of nowhere to go to read like an article about like a movie theater review or like dining, like where to go when you're eating alone.
Yeah,
or
I love
like,
that.
You know, it's there's this big gap in media that for like first person takes on the world.
Yeah.
Because everything, a lot of big media, you have to like serve a lot of people, and I don't think that's really like our objective. We're not trying to serve everyone with every single piece. It's like this piece might relate to you, it might not, but like someone's gonna love it. And it's like, yeah.
What more? Can you tell us who's writing for it, or?
Yeah. It's probably like 60% people I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, we got like a lot of calls for writers, which I was very surprised about.
So cool.
But some of the content that exists is like, hold on, let me think. I've been like in such a noodle over this stuff. Okay, so we have like movie theater reviews, not movie reviews, movie theater
reviews. Love that.
Like where, like a table for one.
Like best movie theater to get fingered at.
Yeah, precisely. We have someone.
Why did you laugh at that?
Well, I think because like there's such a, I do agree. There's a need for that kind of content.
Yeah,
like
where you get the best movie theater to get fingered at?
The best, like just something so niche and small, like that little topic.
Yeah.
Are you not hearing what I'm saying?
Of course I am, and I like it.
What did I say?
The best movie theater to get fingered at.
Okay.
And I think
I'm
that's
just making sure you heard me properly.
Like
finger bang.
100%.
When I think about movie theater dates, I'm getting finger bangs.
But a lot of people
sure.
think about that.
That's actually a good point, and I'm gonna have that writer like consider that. In the
There you go.
Please do, because honestly, like I put something up on TikTok, like when I was like going on a date to a movie. I was like, I'm wearing this on a date to go to the movie theater, and someone, you're 40 years old and you're going on a date to the movies,
Not
and
cool.
I'm like.
Yeah.
40-year-olds see movies, bitch, and they get fingered.
Yeah.
There. Still.
Why would that be like a date that like has an age cutoff?
It's such a weird because people are weirdos. Like I'm 40, so I should be taken to Bill Bouquet and fucking whatever. Like give me a fucking
sometimes
break.
I just want to like watch a movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like seeing a film together is like
that is sweet
cool.
and nice.
Yeah, and then you can talk about it after, and then like there's like cute energy vibes. Like people are so dumb.
People are so dumb. That is so crazy.
So dumb. They're so dumb. Like you really understand that. Like when you have a lot of Instagram followers and like trolls, you know, like it's just the things that people say are insane. Someone just also recently wrote, because I had like posted that, or I did an Instagram story, and I was like, wow, I walked by a children's playground and there was a man masturbating with a pacifier in his mouth.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they're like, someone left a comment like, and you never called the cops? The cops are not going to come, honey. They are not going to do anything about that. Like,
we passed that.
We're past that point.
Wait, that is so crazy. I would have like poured water on his head or something.
He had his hand in his pants, you know, so as his dick wasn't out, but he had a pink pacifier in his mouth.
Were
it was
there
really
kids
disturbing.
on the playground?
There was kids in the playground. He was like, next to the playground, outside of it. So I don't think any of the kids. He wasn't looking at the kids. He was looking at a blank piece of paper. Like, I shit you not. It was like he was looking at like this. Like, he was out of his mind. He was totally out of his mind. You know. Yeah, people.
That's a story.
There's a lot of weird shit going on.
That's a story.
In these streets, as we know.
Oh my God. One time I was walking down like Spring Street or something, and there was I think there was like a hair on my lip. Okay.
Get it, girl.
I was walking down Spring Street, and there was like a construction thing, so there was brown paper over the door. And then I look, and I was just like dancing to my music, and I like look, and I'm like, something's weird about that brown paper. And I realized there's 2 eye holes cut out and a dick hole cut out. And a guy is masturbating and watching people. And it was so insane. Like his eyes and his dick. And I was like,
Was it a nice dick?
no. I was so.
Leah always wants to find the positive in this
I
situation.
was so
No,
appalled.
it's very disturbing to see a penis on the street. I mean, it's happened to me a couple
But
times.
I was like-
it's very disturbing.
like,
Sexual assault to the eyes.
yeah, I mean, it was just crazy that, like,
So was he behind it? He was just behind a door, behind just paper.
yeah, so it was like a construction zone. So, like, no one was, like, going in and out
Right,
of the
it was like
building.
wood. It was like a wooden
But
kind
there
of-
was, like, planks and stuff. But then there was, like, one glass door that, like, was covered with, like, brown paper from the inside. Probably, maybe they were, like, painting or something. I don't know. But, like, it, it looked just
Yeah.
like construction stuff. But he, like, cut out eye holes and a dick hole. And so you could, like, see his...
And the dick was out of the hole, or the cum would go out of the hole?
The dick was out of the hole.
So how did his hand? Where was his hand?
Well, like, I think, no, I sorry, I'm like, don't totally remember the specifics, but I think the hole...
I'm sure you weren't trying to stare at it.
I think the hole was big enough that you could see his
like
dick
you could
in his
see
hand.
the whole. Got it. It wasn't just like a little.
It was, yeah, it wasn't
was like
like,
a
it
bigger-
wasn't,
right,
This was
yeah.
on
Got
Spring
it.
Street.
Yeah, it was like
What
around
the front
here,
door,
kind of.
man?
Oh my God.
What is happening?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
What is happening
This
to our
was like
city?
maybe like 2 years ago, though.
Yeah,
COVID.
that makes sense. Yeah, it's COVID.
Yeah, I remember seeing it and trying to tell my friends about it, and I think I was like in such shock. And honestly, I was just like, like I couldn't believe someone was doing that. I don't think I did a totally adequate job of explaining how insane it was.
No, that's absolutely insane.
And I made direct eye contact with him first.
God.
With his eyes. I saw his eyes, and then I looked down and I saw his dick, and I was like, and like I could
probably
like
came right then and there.
Yeah.
I could
Gootz,
see.
you made his day. You made his day.
I like looked back to his eyes, and I could see like the smile form.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I need to just I need to be rich enough to have a driver so my daughter doesn't have to ever walk on the
Yeah.
streets.
Oh my God. I'm just trying to like, how many
my
people
daughter
buy
sees
that?
terrible things every day. She comes home and she's like, look at this pedophile that was on the train platform who wouldn't stop looking at me. And she shows me videos of the men like, and because she makes fun of them with her friends and she trolls people and shit. But because she wears the Catholic school uniform and
Yeah.
she's like, Mom, I'm a
God.
pedophile's dream. Like, this is a pedophile outfit. Like, why do I have to wear this shit? I'm like, you're right. Can you start wearing the pants? And then she's like, no. But you know what I mean? Because that's like every guy's dream is not every, I should not say that. I should not say that. A lot of perverts' dreams. And it's like that Britney Spears, she did that fucking video wearing that little that uniform. And it's like, it's been fetishized and it's been... Yeah,
That is so crazy. What is it like raising a kid in New York? Sorry,
you can interview me now. She's turning 16 tomorrow. I know.
No
Let me show you a
way.
recent picture of her.
Wait,
I know.
was she
She's
throwing
just-
a sweet 16?
So it's been my dream since I knew I was pregnant with a girl to throw a sweet 16 for her. I didn't care about the wedding or college or whatever else. I wanted to throw her sweet 16 to try to live that vicariously through her because I was too much of a fuck up to ever have a sweet 16. She's refusing, but that's...
Oh, she is so pretty.
Thank you. She's a good girl too.
She's so pretty.
We sleep in the same bed every night. I know that's weird.
I do that with my mom when
I sleep
when
in
I
her
go
bed or
home.
she sleeps in mine. Oh, good. Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, I'm like super obsessed with like sleeping in the same bed as my mom.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
I love that. I hope we do it forever.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with my mother.
No,
Like,
I am too, but I don't in a weird, unhealthy way. You have a good relationship with your mom?
Oh my god, the best relationship.
Are you an only child?
I'm not, but my sister is a lot older. She's like 15 years older.
Okay.
But we both have really good relationships.
Okay, so she does too.
With-
It's not
with
like,
our mom,
Do you
yeah.
think you're the favorite though? I'm kidding. You are. Because you're the baby. You're the baby.
She's also probably the most successful.
My mom likes my brother the best.
No, I have two nieces. My sister has two kids. They're the favorites.
They're the favorites, for sure.
They
Yes,
they win
definitely.
by a landslide.
Oh my God. I know my mom's so obsessed with my daughter who's
Yeah.
16, but still obsessed with her. Like the other night, my mom slept over and me and my mom were sleeping in the same bed. And then she's like, I'm going to go sleep with Kier. I'm like, okay. Like, she's the grandkids.
Yeah,
Like,
no, my mom was like a fantastic mother, but she was born to be a grandmother, I think. And like I only realized that like when my sister had kids.
Yeah.
Like I was always like, my mom was born to be a mom.
Yeah.
But like that is not true. My mom was born to be a grandma. Because the thing is, like, Mom, I love you if you're listening to this. She's like not very good at discipline, and so that's why she's such a good grandma, because she doesn't have to discipline, because like it's my sister who decides the discipline, like the rules,
Yeah, of course.
and then my mom just has to like follow them, but she doesn't have to like make them up. Like she was never good at like I've never been grounded in my life.
Yeah, my daughter hasn't either. See, that's funny because I'm not good at discipline or like schools, like making sure Kier's like on top of schoolwork, but my mom is good. Like my mom's been in charge of like my daughter's education and like getting tutors and like doing XYZ, because I'd be like, why don't you just take a sewing class and and dance and let's make TikTok? I mean, you know, I'm a good mom. I'm kind of being self-deprecating right now, but my mom is more like, Rob's more of the disciplinarian. My mom is much more focused on my daughter's academics, and then I'm just like making sure my daughter
is like creative
respects
and
herself
happy
as a young woman. But yeah, exactly.
Which is equally as important.
It really is. And she does really, she has a lot of respect for herself and her friends.
Amazing.
It's really good. It's definitely not how I was when I was her age.
Same. I definitely did not have any respect for myself.
No, I really
and I think
didn't.
I like only started to come into it at like age 25.
Yeah. I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
It's a forever process.
That's amazing that like she has that at such a young age. Because it's like, it's hard for a woman.
I know. It really is. We're given so many mixed messages and by the media.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean, advertising and like fucking like, you know, film and TV, and it's like, we're commodities. Like our bodies are commodities. They always have been. They always will be. And you know, it's just a complex kind of.
It's a very complex relationship between like a woman and her body.
Yes, it
and
really
like a
is.
woman and her mind.
Oh yeah.
And then like the intersection of the two. It's like, oh my god,
it's a lot to deal with.
There should be a class.
Yeah, well, we should get tax like write off for.
We
like,
should literally get
therapy
tax
and
write offs
stuff.
for just being like.
And then we have to deal with our periods and our hormones, or you know, menopause.
Like
and,
there
crazy.
should not. Okay, maybe I'm kind of an idiot for. I hope. I was gonna say there should not be taxes on feminine products, and like
we should get them for free.
Yeah, first of all we should get them for free, but at the very minimum there shouldn't be taxes on it. And
Absolutely.
I was gonna say that, and then I was like, I can't remember if that. There is still taxes.
There's still taxes on. Yeah, I think so. If we're wrong, I hope we're wrong.
I mean, I just like steal them from Equinox.
That's smart.
Yeah, but
I started
because they have really good ones there.
Do they?
Yeah, and it's like
the organic ones. I started buying organic tampons.
Yeah.
I've been using other ones, but I'm like, this is crazy. These giant brands, like I just don't trust. As I get older too, I'm like, I don't trust the FDA. I don't trust this. I don't trust that. I'm like,
no,
like
I don't want to put like a pink plastic thing in my vagina
that like smells like soap.
Yeah,
like,
that
what
smells like soap and is like bright pink. No,
absolutely not.
No,
so
I buy the
the OB. Oh God. That's a rough one though. Yeah, you really gotta be committed. Like, and my fingernails are long.
Oh yeah,
you know,
it's hard. It's hard to do it.
It's hard, but I mean, I have. But I started getting these organic cotton tampons. I don't remember the brand, but they're like the FDA doesn't even make these giant like companies divulge every single ingredient that's in a tampon. Yeah. So imagine you have that up inside of you and it's fucking expanding and it's like the chemicals are releasing into your body and it's just like. I'm not trying to drive myself crazy with all of this because you could if you think about every single thing that you're ingesting, breathing in, whatever, you'll drive yourself nuts. But it's crazy to think about. Okay, I want to ask you this though.
Okay,
media, because you really get media. What is like going on? Like Vice is now bankrupt.
Oh my
God,
let's
talk about this. This is crazy.
Let's talk about this. It's crazy. Vice is bankrupt. Paper has shut down.
Yes, Paper. My God.
I know. That one was a real shock.
What?
Yeah, that one was a real shock.
Vice has sucked for a long time.
Vice has been definitely on the downhill for the last 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, it's just they went too woke and weird.
Yeah.
And it's just like they do a lot of good stuff though with their series. Like when they send people to fucking different countries and they're covering war and crazy shit. That's really good. they're like some of their story name titles or whatever you would call it. It's just like too like I just can't. I'm like
they just put the word "fuck" in it for no reason.
It's a lot. I mean,
it's true. Actually, it's true.
I remember
someone
when
pointed that out to me the other day. They're like,
"Oh, really?
Fuck yeah, it's
just
stupid."
Fuck in there.
It's like walking down the fucking street, and it's like okay.
But I remember when Vice was just a magazine. I think it was free, and we would wait for it to come out, kind of like Drunken Canal. We would wait for it to come out.
Parallels.
We would want to read the do's and don'ts. It was like a fashion section, like, and the do's and don'ts, and you always wondered if like maybe you would be in there or not. And I think I was definitely in there, maybe in the don't section. I can't remember. I was probably in the don'ts. I wish that there were still like archives of that or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Gavin McInnes became the Proud Boy or whatever. People hated that.
Yeah. It's gone through so many waves and cycles that I'm honestly impressed at its longevity. Like, I'm honestly impressed that it's lasted that long, given how many changes have happened to it. Like, from being a free newspaper to like being Proud Boy associated to being super liberal to being a media network. Like, they really did so much that I think that's impressive.
Yeah, it is.
But given all that, they never quite figured it out. I think they had it down for a bit, and then we're like, we need to go bigger or something. But
it seemed like it was always going bigger.
Yeah, I think they went bankrupt and then got bought, though.
I think George Soros.
Yeah, someone bought it, but not for that much money. Like, I mean, a couple $100 million.
Right, but that's like not compared to what it was evaluated at, like $5 billion or something.
At a certain point, that was a multi-billion-dollar
But imagine
company.
like George Soros. I think it's George Soros who bought Vice. Can you please look
I'll look this up for you.
Yeah,
but imagine like all these like the conservatives and stuff are going to be like. Every single article that comes out now in Vice, they're going to be like freaking out that it's like George Soros propaganda. And it's just I don't know.
Yeah.
Did he buy it?
Yeah, George Soros didn't buy it.
Oh, what did he do?
George Soros has put in $400 million investment. So he gave them their high valuation. The company was valued at $6 billion. And thanks to George and his $400 million capital injection, they got that valuation. So there was no purchase, but it was an investment.
Right. But now what's up now? Because they went bankrupt and they got bought.
So the issue now is, so I'm looking through their breakdown. So they were shopping for a purchaser. They couldn't find someone to purchase it. They couldn't find a bank to back their debt. And they're looking at $173 million in debt capital. So basically, it wasn't investment capital. They're taking it from banks, which is like hard money lending for a company. And now they're being called in on their debts, and they can't make payments. So you have to file for bankruptcy.
Got it.
And is someone trying to buy them post bankruptcy?
They were looking for a buyer,
but they
cannot find one. So they're filing to restructure and obviously try and pay back their debts because they are not.
How much do they owe? Does it say?
One article says 168 million in debt. Another one says 58 million. It's all over the place. But there is debt capital.
Wow. But
sorry, I just realized I was moving this thing around.
No, it's fine. But also, like, but the owners of it, like, they're probably they're like rich and
they're rich. So I actually got this article up here. So the main founder, Shane,
right?
He had cashed out stock at the tune of 110 million at its peak. So as far as your personal assets, you're fine.
Go down.
He's fine.
He's fine.
It's the person who's writing and working there who thinks like, well, I had a 401k. Bye-bye.
Oh my God.
That's a problem.
That's so fucked up.
That's a problem.
Shane should give his money back. Fuck capitalism.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Capitalism. I'm a socialist now.
Shane should give half his money back.
Yeah, he should.
I'm a little bit of a capitalist. I'm not going to lie.
No, of course, me too, obviously. But I have a socialist streak.
Yeah,
that comes out once in a while.
I have socialist tendencies, but.
And again, I changed my mind. Yeah. I'm like, I'm a libertarian. Just kidding.
Do you want to be valued at 100 billion soon with your new project?
Of course she does. She's going to. Also,
I think that's
100 billion's a little much. Yeah. I think like a few billion is good.
I think even a few billion, I would be in over my head.
I think you could handle it.
Yeah, maybe.
You're giving those vibes. You can handle it.
You can handle it.
You can throw some stuff
at you. You just need a good therapist, a spiritual advisor. Seriously.
Yeah.
You need a spiritual advisor. Unless you're just a sicko. But if you are worth that much money, you need a spiritual advisor.
You really
and you need to be fucking connected to God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you're going to kill yourself with all that money somehow. You know what I mean?
Seriously.
What are your goals with it? With the new project? I'm curious now.
I have a few ideas, but like I have a few different goals, each of which I think is like great if I read. Like, I guess I'm just not 100% sure in the direction it'll go and what people will want the most from it. So like my goals right now are super speculative. Like,
and it's fluid, right? Too.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. So I have, if it goes this way, I have a goal for that end. If it goes this way, I have a goal for that end. So I'm just really open to seeing how people receive it and what they want. I know that that's like so vague, but
it's better though to be like open.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think we went into this and we decided that we thought we knew what it was. And then we have like some advisors that are helping us, and one of them actually was like SVP at Vice, like marketing. So he did like Vice ad sales for like 14 years. And he was like, you should not go into this like thinking you know what it is, because you'll limit yourself.
Right.
Because if you think you're going into it with this being the set goal, and it goes astray or it just doesn't lead there, you might think you failed. Or you might just like lock yourself in or something. You'll limit yourself. So we were like, okay, that's like such a valid point, because we know what we're doing, but at the same time we really don't.
Right.
Or,
you know what you're doing.
We know what we're doing, but we don't know the response or reaction. We can project it and we have a guess and we think it's going to do well and all the signs point to it. But ultimately, like, I think
you're being a realist.
I'm being a realist. I am. I'm down. It's definitely not like radical positivity in that case. I just like, I'm being cautious in what I decide the goal is because I just don't know yet.
I love that, actually.
I
like that.
The goal right now is to make something that I'm really proud of and that I think people want to read. And then
that's more important than anything.
What's beyond that for the company, time will tell.
Yeah.
But my goal right now is to just like feel good and be proud.
Yeah.
And then I don't have to worry about like if people don't like it or if people like, have things to say or whatever, because I'm proud of it. And so I will have at least at the very bare minimum achieved that.
Totally. I think that's great. I think that's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
Are you nervous about it?
I'm super nervous.
Of course. That's normal.
I'm super nervous.
How does it look, the site? Are you happy with it all and everything?
I'm super happy with it.
I can't wait to see it.
I'll show you it.
Okay, good.
It's really cool and fun and sort of like, it's very contemporary, but it's not like too modern. So I think it's kind of like, someone used the word like future proof. Like if aesthetics were to radically change, I think our site would like still look good and we wouldn't have to like change it. Like it's not, it's timeless. But it's really cool and fun. And I am really nervous because, this is like my first big swing on purpose. This is like the first time I'm doing something big with the goal, like, or the intention of knowing I'm doing something big.
Not just sitting in the park.
You sitting in a park, right?
Yeah, it's not an accident this time. And because of that, I'm really nervous because I've never done something so purposeful in some ways. And I think there's going to be like a lot of parallels, obviously, between the Drunken Canal, which makes sense because that's like what I started before this. And I think there are some parallels, but also I think that this is like a much bigger and broader project that like has kind of infinite room for growth and infinite possibilities. And so that also makes me nervous because it's like, that's sort of why I'm hesitant to like put a goal on it. Cause I just don't know.
Yeah.
But
do you have investors?
No. We thought about fundraising. We're not against it, but honestly that like right now we're just funding it out of our pockets.
I think that's a great way to start.
But yeah, I'm excited about it and it's going to be really cool.
I have a million questions about this. It sounds so like, I love bootstrap stuff.
Yeah,
I love
super
funky
bootstrapped,
startups
but it's
and people who
funky
are
and fun.
like just to go do wild stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely startup vibes.
Can I write something for you guys?
Yes, please.
Okay.
What? Go
What
for
should
it.
I write about?
I don't know. Getting finger banged in a movie theater?
No, what should I write about? Seriously.
Is there something that you feel like you know a lot about that you think other people should know a lot about?
Yeah, a lot. There's a bunch of things.
Yeah.
No, there's not. It's like a handful of things. But yeah.
Or anything that you've like have always wanted to
Okay.
read.
Well, no, but you know what? I would like to write about this because this is annoying me lately. Can I write about things that annoy me?
Yeah.
Like all this fucking like I see so many people on TikTok and like no people are like I haven't drank in 2 years. # sober curious. # stop. We're not the same. We
Yeah.
are not drinking for the same reason. If I drink, I will end up sniffing so many drugs, ruin my life, get arrested, die. Like, I can't, it's like maybe I have a resentment against these people because they could drink if they wanted to and like
Right.
nothing
Yeah.
bad would happen to them.
Not
They're
go
just
off the
like
rails.
doing it for like health shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
get your fucking pussy. Drink. Like, it's
think-
so annoying. These people that are doing it on some health shit. I'm like, fuck off. Like,
It's definitely
have
some
a
health
fucking
shit.
brand, have a drink, have a glass of wine, motherfuckers. Like, you can. Like, it's just annoying. And they're like, ugh. We're not the same.
I think it's definitely like a personal resentment.
I think I'm resentful.
'cause
I might be a little
I
resentful
can
at them.
understand why, but like why someone might not want to drink.
No, because alcohol's terrible for you.
Yeah, it's like
but,
poison.
But when people are making it their like thing,
yeah.
it's like what?
Yeah, when they're like,
Don't
I'm
make it your
sober,
thing. Yeah, it's
but
like, you're
like
not
you didn't have
sober.
a problem
You're-
to
you
begin
don't
with.
have a
Okay, so
drink.
you just like don't drink.
You just don't drink. Don't say you're sober.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It's totally different to like not drink and be sober.
Yeah, and there needs to be a distinction. Or I'm
Yeah.
gonna use a different word than sober if all these non-alcoholic people are using the word
maybe
sober.
you need to coin a word and then write about it.
I like that.
For them or for
Whichever one. You can coin one for them if you don't like them.
okay. Yeah, maybe I need to do a fourth step on those people. What else could I write
That's
about?
fun, man.
Yeah. It's a lot of
I could
stuff.
write about not having sex for a year.
That's a great one.
But I mean, then I had sex, but I didn't fuck for a long time.
Yeah, that's a great thing to write about.
And people were maybe like, some people were saying I was a sexual anorexic, but I don't think I was being that. Everyone wants to put a label on everything. You know what I mean?
I definitely have not had sex for a year before.
Yeah, I mean, I'd never done it actually before.
I used to like not have a sex drive because I was on a lot of antidepressants.
Yeah, I mean, that's an issue
So
for me too.
I definitely have gone through, which is crazy because I'm only like 26. But
Are you still on the antidepressants?
I am, but I have a sex drive now.
Yeah, that's good.
So-
No, I'm on antidepressants too. I'll be on them forever.
Yeah, oh yeah, I've been on them for like 10 years.
Yeah, I'm not
but
going off.
and I think I'll be on them forever.
Yeah, even though they're saying like depression has nothing to do with serotonin sometimes, and it's like all placebo. That's not. It's just a couple studies that were done,
Right.
obviously. But sometimes I do wonder if it's like placebo. But who cares if it's placebo? It works,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Not that I don't get depressed on antidepressants. I do sometimes, obviously, because it's circumstantial.
Yeah, like for me, I think I definitely don't think I'm depressed anymore.
Yeah.
And I think now I'm just like on such a mild dose of antidepressants as like a stabilizer. But
Right.
like I definitely have been super depressed. So my hot take is that it like doesn't last forever.
Also, because things happen. It's not
Yeah.
like you can take if something fucked up happens in your life, and just because you're on an antidepressant doesn't mean you're not going to feel sad about it.
Yeah, like I was definitely super depressed in high school.
Was that like a clinical depression? Were there
Yeah.
things going on, or were you just like had a
It was
very
just like a clinical depression.
yeah.
But then I was super depressed when I moved to New York and went to college. And I honestly think it's because I was just like smoking a lot of weed.
probably weed is like not that lit. I'm sorry.
I smoke a little bit. I'm
Yeah.
a super casual smoker now, but I was like a heavy stoner.
yeah, that'll fuck your brain up.
And I think like, and I was having like really bad problems with like disassociating.
I do that.
And the weed like did not help, and
No.
so then that became like another spell of depression where I just like wouldn't leave my house because I was honestly like too scared of like the outside world. Like it
Right.
was like depression, paranoia. It was like
little
all these
agoraphobia.
things. But
Yeah.
now I'm just like, I get sad, but I'm kind of just like chilling most of the time.
Yeah,
you know,
that's good. I have
Yeah.
anxiety
Yeah.
more than anything. I worry about everything.
I do too, but I think it's so second nature that I'm just like,
Yeah. Like I was telling my mom yesterday, I was like, I've become so neurotic as I've gotten older that I would never be able to be pregnant. Like
Yeah.
I would be too neurotic. Like I need to, if I'm going to have another child, I need a surrogate because I will be worried about everything.
oh yeah. I would imagine that I would be the same way. My friends honestly like make jokes about it sometimes that I would be like a really like angry pregnant person.
I was so happy. You never know. It might like for me, I became so happy when I was pregnant,
I would like
but I'd be scared now.
I like can't wait to have a kid, but I need to like definitely like not do anything for those like 9 months I'm pregnant. I already know that like my feet are gonna swell a lot or something. Like I just like feel
They
it.
do.
I feel it.
Sciatica. Yeah, you get sciatica. A lot of
My
indigestion.
sister, when she got pregnant, her heel like cracked a lot.
Oh my God.
It was really gross.
Like cracked open?
Yeah.
Oh God.
It was like really gross to look at.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
I miss it.
Everything reminds you of it.
I know. Look at all these dicks everywhere.
Yeah, look at everything is
Like,
so
everything is a
cute.
dick.
She can't eat hot
Everything's a
dogs.
dick.
Forget corn dogs. Forget
I'm
anything like
honestly
that.
not even horny anymore, so it doesn't matter.
If he called
I
you
can
right now,
just,
you
I
totally
can
do.
no, trust me, I can turn it off. I
Wow.
can turn it right off.
The light switch.
That's the Virgo in me. When I'm done, I'm done. Like when I am done,
That should be
I
the
am
article
done.
you write for her. That should be the article.
That's not that interesting, is it?
How you can
It is
turn it
interesting.
off. Like a woman can just turn off her sex drive like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
this is what you do. You write a list of all the annoying, fucked up things the guy did. Because what happens is that your brain is set up in a way where it forgets all the bad things and just focuses on the positivity because somehow because of the way evolution, we're wired. Our bodies are telling us, no, you need to be with him. You need to be together so you can survive out there because you need him to go hunt and bring back the wild boar or whatever. Seriously, so your brain works that way. It's so fucked up. We're dealing with our you know, we're living in a modern world and our bodies are still and our brains are still wired to be living like we're cave people.
Yeah.
You know, so even though you know this is not the right person and you're not compatible, your brain is like, yes, he is. Go back to him. You need him to survive. He's going to feed you, even though he's not feeding you.
I know, like mating mentality is like so real.
It's so real, you know?
And also like the chemical addiction to somebody is like so real.
It is so real, but it's so not real
Yeah.
because it's chemicals.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm in love. Oh my God, I need to be with this person forever. We need to get married right now. It's like, actually, that's the dopamine that's being released in your brain right now. It's the same thing as if you're sniffing a line of Coke and it's going to wear off in about 2 more months. And then you're going to go, what the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah. Yep.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
I mean, it's crazy. And it only happens to women. It's not happening to, maybe it happens to men a little, but not like it does to us.
I don't think it's the same kind of intensity, but I think because they like, when we go back to like mammal instinct, like they can go to any female in the clan. Like if they're like a lion, you know, they can go to any lioness, but like the lioness has like one lion, you know? And so there's that. I think that still
not fair.
That
it's
deep
it's
down
not,
inside that
it's
those
all very,
brain synapses still happen.
It's all very primal. I also just finished reading this book called Attached. Mm-hmm. Now look, you know, you can't ever, I take everything with a grain of salt and I don't love labels. I've talked about that before. I don't love calling myself bipolar 2. It's just, there's a lot of labels out there in the world of psychiatry and psychology and whatever. But this book Attached talks about like our attachment styles. And it's really interesting because I found that with myself, it depends on my partner. Mm-hmm. If my partner seems to have an anxious, preoccupied attachment style, I'll turn more into an avoidant.
Interesting.
But if I'm dating a guy that's more avoidant style, which is like my dad, I'll turn into an anxious, preoccupied, and I'm like, this is not even who I am. How am I acting like this?
I'm so curious as to what my attachment style is.
Well, you can do. There's an online.
I'm literally
test.
gonna go like take a test.
So
after
I'm
this.
of course one of the very rare anxious / avoidant. Like I
Yeah.
do both. And that's like only 3 to 5% of the people. Normally it's like you're one or the other. And then of course there's like the wonderful secure attached people who are healthy and I'm probably not ever going to be interested in one of them for whatever reason. And also there's not a lot of them available because they're in relationships. That's the other thing. If you're on a dating app, you see the same fucking people constantly, all the same guys, because they're avoidance. Yeah. So they're in the dating pool.
Another article, dating app review article for Byline. Oof.
Now, I'll tell you one thing: the league is not hitting properly.
Is the league an app?
The league is I can't even talk about it because they'll throw me off of it.
What?
They threw me off of Raya. I got thrown off of Raya. I'm not allowed on Raya because I talked about it publicly and had I had a little dispute with someone on it publicly. And, they got a lot of press. You're welcome. And not the person, but Raya got a lot of press. I mean, we all did. It was horrible.
They should be saying thank you then.
I was trending on Twitter. They wanted to cancel me. Trending on Twitter in a negative way.
Oh my God, that's my fear.
It was terrifying.
That's her fear.
It was, it's still my fear.
I definitely do not operate from a place of no fear. I am.
Yeah, that would be,
But I'm like, I don't know.
Well, because you're also, in my 20s, we didn't have Instagram or social media or anything. I didn't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? If I had to, it would have been like over for me.
Yeah.
Over.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wait, so if you talk about the app, you get thrown off? It's like Fight Club?
Totally.
Really?
I think so.
Yeah, it's like Fight Club.
People talk about Tinder. Oh, I guess it's different.
But Tinder's not exclusive.
Oh.
I mean,
Tinder's
the
for
league
the
is
people.
Right. Yeah. The league is kind of exclusive or something. I mean, I don't pay or anything, but like, I think because I have a lot of Instagram followers, I'm like allowed. But what they do is they base it off of like your LinkedIn.
Oh.
Which I had to update because like I have like don't put anything on there.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, maybe I'll change this photo that's from like 2009.
Wait, that sounds kind of cool.
I did meet one guy that I dated
like
for a couple months.
It's
guys that are professionals. They're all like finance, lawyer, like all that. Yeah, but like they're so I have to really meet I have to like it's off a photo. It's so hard.
I'm so bad at dating apps. It's like because the people are just like compressed down into like a 2D image,
right?
But they're like a 3D and 4D being, and so you're just like Matt, left, right, and you like forget that these are like real people,
right? And it's also hard to not be corny on a dating app or look corny.
Exactly, it's so hard to not be corny, and it's so hard not to judge people like super fast. You're like, this person's being corny, and you're like, wait, but like, are they being corny, or do I just
the questions that they're answering that the app
or
gave
are
them
they just like answering the questions on the app and doing what they're supposed to do?
Wait, are you dating anyone?
Yes.
Oh!
I actually have a boyfriend for like the first time ever.
Oh my God, for how long?
So it was like on and off since like December because I like don't ever know what I want. And then we were broken up, and then I like showed up to his house in the middle of the night one night when I was really drunk and was like, I want to get back together.
Right now, I love you.
Basically. and we've been together since, and that's probably been like a month.
Okay, so how's this month going?
Great.
That's awesome.
Good. I really like it. It's really fun. I think I understand why people are like serial monogamists because I'm like, if this ends, like I'm going to want another boyfriend.
That's how I feel now that my very fast and furious romance that ended up, I mean, of course, like, that's what happens when you like start. This is also the issue with like meeting people in AA, which I'm done dating people in that are alcoholics or AA or sober, whatever. I need just a normie civilian that's like drinks. Like I really do. It's like you are sharing so much intimate shit about yourself that you don't have boundaries of. And then you share so much, you both trauma dump. You're like, this happened to me. And then you're like immediately like glued together, right? Yeah. Because you've shared all this shit.
Yeah.
But it's not an appropriate timing. It's really not. It needs to lead up to that because you have no idea if you're compatible or not.
Right.
So like me and this guy were like saying I love you in 2 weeks. I mean, I should have known that it was not going to end well, but I have no bad feelings towards him, and it'll be, but now I'm like, oh, that was like nice having like a boyfriend,
It's nice.
even though it was annoying also a lot of the times, but it was the nice parts were so nice, and it had been so long that I like, had someone who was nice.
It's so cool and fun to just like know that someone like wants to spend so much time with you.
Yeah.
And that someone like likes what you have to say. I mean, I know these are also like silly, but like,
no.
Okay, the other day he asked me to get him a beer from the fridge, and I was like, shut the fuck up. My boyfriend wants me to get him a beer from the fridge. And he was like, what is like so funny about that? I'm like, babe, you don't realize like I'm gonna do this like 1,000 more times in my life, but I've never done this before. Like the cliche of like getting your boyfriend a beer from the fridge. I was like, yes,
wow,
I will get that
because
for you right now.
Because it's your first boyfriend.
It's my first.
How
like,
is that
real
even possible,
boyfriend.
though?
I don't know. I just like.
I guess that's a normal age. I did everything so young.
I had like boyfriends like in high school, right? But they like weren't real, and we had sex maybe like one time.
This is a good. This is a good age.
This is like my
26.
first like real boyfriend.
It's good because I met Rob when I was 20. I started dating him when I was 20, and I dated him until I was like 27, which is. I was young.
Yeah.
I was really young to be in a serious relationship like that.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know what I wanted yet. I didn't know what kind of partner I wanted. I would never deal with Rob's shit now. I mean, like, I love Rob obviously, but he's guarded and he's not great at communicating. He's a lot of, emotionally kind of, I can't deal with that. Like, you know what I mean? But I dealt with that back then because, I was really in love with Rob, but 26, this is a great age for you.
Yeah, exactly. But it feels like a great age. It feels like the right time. It doesn't feel like I'm like a late, like it doesn't feel like I'm late or anything.
Is he supportive of your creative endeavors?
Yeah, he is. And
is he a creative guy?
He is. He's an artist.
Okay.
But like,
are you more successful than him?
Yes.
How is that? Because I'm going to warn you about that, honey. And I'm hoping that you have a different experience and that he is able and he's mature enough to not have it make him insecure. Because this is how men can get resentful.
Yes.
I'm just saying that. I'm not saying that he is. Just be aware.
I know.
Because if he starts saying sideways shit or acting passive aggressive, that might be what it is, and you might have to have a talk with him.
Yeah. It's not like that. He's definitely super supportive, but I would imagine.
You're very media trained, by the way. You're really media trained. You've trained yourself, I guess. You're like, think about what you say. Yeah.
I would imagine that being with someone who is a lot more successful than you could potentially cause someone to feel insecure. Yeah. I'm not saying that is happening.
And it's also the gender roles reversed. Like,
but it's, I could, see that as a possibility.
Yeah, well, hopefully he doesn't.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't.
How old is he?
26.
Okay, good. So I feel like the younger guys are actually more mature because they've grown up with less of this pressure, maybe, or like the gender stuff is like all like not. It's now there's multiple genders and there's different. You know what I mean? It's just different.
Exactly.
Like, obviously, there's some things that are innate.
He's like a super super grounded person. And
are you in love?
I don't know.
Have you guys said I love you yet?
Yes.
Oh, so cute. Who said it first?
He did.
Oh, the guys always say it first. Yeah.
I didn't say it back the first few times.
Yeah, it's scary to say it back.
But like, it's really great because I'm like, I'm just so everywhere. He's always like, babe, come back down to earth. Like, earth, remember? Yeah. And I'm just like, maybe
this is the perfect.
Like, sometimes I just, it's nice. And I will say, okay, so I was really apprehensive in the beginning, and I've already like told him this sort of story and metaphor is I was like, he is like an anchor, right? But I am like a ship that wants to like sail through the night. And I was like, I don't want an anchor.
Right.
But then I was like actually talking to his friend, and his friend was like, but an anchor's on the ship regardless.
Yeah.
Like,
you need an anchor.
Anchor's
not a bad thing.
Anchor is on the ship whether the ship is moving or not. Just because there's an anchor doesn't mean the ship can't move.
I love that.
And I was like, Oh, you're right. You're right. Just because there's an anchor doesn't mean the ship can't move.
Are you guys all like, are the friends like like he's down with your friends? Did you all meet each other's friends yet?
We have, yeah. They're definitely like, our friend groups don't
overlap too much.
Hyper overlap. There's a few mutual friends,
Better
but
that
it's
way.
separate enough that it like feels nice.
Yeah. Has your family met him?
No,
When's that happening?
I don't know. That's a different story.
They know about him though.
My mom knows about him and my sister knows about him.
Okay.
But
Do
my
you guys
father
live together?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm crazy. I'd be like, let's move in.
Oh, I've definitely been like, okay, so like if you
When
move
the
in,
lease
you
is
can
up,
pay this much rent, and then you can get a studio for this much. Like I've already like thought about it all.
Of course.
But
That's what we do.
The other day he was like in a movie. He went to go see a movie, and I didn't know what time it was up, so I like went and like looked on the movie theater website to see how long the movie was,
To see when he's getting out of the movie.
to see like when he would be getting out of the movie.
Oh, you're psycho.
And then it was so funny because we like came home and we're looking at something on my computer, and he saw the tab, and I was like, okay, yeah, like I wanted to know what time you were gonna be out of the movie.
Oh, you like him so much. That is so sweet. I want to be in love.
It's really fun.
That's adorable.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go meet him at Finelli's after this.
Oh my God, how cute. What a perfect midday.
Yeah, have a little Diet Coke
lunch
and like,
date.
Yeah.
And then a little blowjob in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so cute. Okay, let's wrap on that because that's just a sweet,
Yeah.
That's very
beautiful.
nice. That's wholesome.
Thank you.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Gootz, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Gootz. I paid a guy $40 for that a long time ago.
Whoa. Big
I wonder
money.
if I could get at Leah. But
Probably could.
Leah Mob is kind of
Leah Mob
it's who I am.
is great.
And-
And then you can find my new endeavor at Byline or at bylinebyline.com.
So exciting. Thank you for coming on. You're a queen, and I cannot wait to see how your life and your fucking everything unfolds for you because I'm so impressed by you. I really am. You're
Thank
incredible.
you so much.